Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you're really paying attention to what's happening around the Cleveland Browns right now, you know that the team is in a fascinating, almost unpredictable phase of its roster development and strategic planning. And it all centers around one of their most iconic players, Myles Garrett. This guy, who's been a cornerstone of Cleveland's defense since he was drafted first overall in 2017, has always been a game changer. But now, things are taking a different turn, and it's not just about his spectacular pass-rushing skills or his relentless motor on the field. It's about the bigger picture, the future of the team, and what that means for Garrett himself. Recently, the Browns made a significant move by convincing Garrett to rescind his trade request, and then signing him to a hefty 4-year, $160 million contract. That's a massive commitment from Cleveland, and it signals just how much they value him, not only as a player but as a leader and a franchise cornerstone. But as always in the NFL, when a team makes a move like that, it's not just about the dollars and years. It's about what the team promises in return, and in this case, the Browns made a very specific pledge to Garrett. They promised him that they would bring in a veteran quarterback for the 2025 season. And this is where things start to get really interesting. According to ESPN's Browns insider Daniel Oyefusi, the team's brass told Garrett directly that they intend to bring in a veteran quarterback under center for next year. Now, if you're a Browns fan, you know how crucial that position is, especially for a team with Super Bowl aspirations. But what's truly fascinating is the way this impacts the team's current quarterback situation and the overall strategy moving forward. At the moment, Cleveland's quarterback depth chart has some intriguing pieces. Joe Flacco, the veteran quarterback brought in last season, is the one who is currently leading the charge. Flacco, who's been around the league for a long time, with his Super Bowl-winning experience and deep ball arm, is probably not the first choice for many fans looking ahead to the future. But the Browns' plan seems to be to stick with him, at least for now, especially if Cleveland remains in playoff contention throughout the season. This is a crucial point because it implies that unless things go sideways, Flacco will be the guy under center for the Browns in 2025. But the story doesn't end there. The team has two rookie quarterbacks behind Flacco, Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. Now, you might be wondering, what does this mean for these young quarterbacks? Well, if Cleveland stays competitive and Flacco keeps the ship steady, those rookies are likely to wait patiently for their turn. But if the team hits some rough waters or the veterans' play declines, the Browns might have to turn to Gabriel or Sanders to give the team a needed spark, especially if they're looking to inject some youth and athleticism into the offense. And here's where Garrett's stance and desires come into play. According to sources close to him, Garrett wants to be on a team that's clearly in the hunt, a team that's competing at the highest level, and he wants to do so with a veteran quarterback who can contribute immediately. It's no secret that Garrett's mindset is geared toward winning now, and he's not interested in a rebuild or a team relying heavily on rookies. His preference is for a veteran who can step in and help the team push for a Super Bowl. However, the Browns are in a bit of a tricky spot. They've traded away some assets, including Kenny Pickett, and currently have Flacco as their only seasoned quarterback. The team's strategy, as it seems, is to keep Flacco as the starter for the foreseeable future unless the results force their hand. But if Cleveland's offense struggles or if Flacco's performance doesn't meet expectations, then the spotlight will turn to Dillon Gabriel, the former Oregon Ducks star, who has shown flashes of potential. Gabriel is a dynamic, mobile quarterback, and even though he's still raw, his talent and athleticism make him a very interesting option for the Browns if they need a spark. And don't forget about Shedeur Sanders, the fifth-round pick from the 2025 NFL Draft. He's also in the mix, and there's buzz that later in the season, he might get opportunities to start or at least play a significant role. Sanders, coming from a football family and having a Heisman finalist background, is seen as a player with a lot of upside. Cleveland's coaching staff and front office seem open to giving him a chance to develop, especially if the team is out of playoff contention or needs to evaluate talent for the future. Now, what does all this mean for Myles Garrett? Well, if Cleveland continues to be in the hunt, the team is likely to stick with Flacco to keep things stable. But if the season takes a downturn and Cleveland needs to shake things up, Garrett may have to accept that the team's future depends on giving those young quarterbacks a shot, including Gabriel or Sanders. And Garrett, as a fierce competitor and a player who demands excellence, might not be thrilled at first. But knowing his mentality, he's all about winning and doing what's best for the team, even if it means stepping back a little and letting the rookies develop. This whole situation highlights the delicate balancing act the Browns are trying to execute. They want to keep Garrett happy and motivated, knowing his impact on the field can be game-changing. At the same time, they're looking at the bigger picture, planning for the future, and trying to develop their young talent at quarterback. It's a strategic chess match, and Cleveland is playing it carefully, knowing that the AFC North is fiercely competitive and that every decision now could influence their chances of finally bringing home that elusive Super Bowl trophy after decades of trying. And let's talk a bit about the bigger picture here. Cleveland's recent history has been marked by moments of promise, but also setbacks and what-ifs. The team's roster has been built with talent, especially on defense, where Garrett has been a cornerstone. But now, with these quarterback questions looming and Garrett's future secured with that big contract, the Browns are signaling their intent to be serious contenders. They're not just building for today, but also for a sustainable future, and that means making tough decisions, including who gets to lead the offense in 2025 and beyond. It's also worth noting that the AFC North is arguably one of the most competitive divisions in the league right now. The Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Burrow are always a threat, and teams like Baltimore and Pittsburgh keep reloading and retooling. Cleveland's path to the playoffs and a Super Bowl run depends heavily on getting this quarterback situation right. And with Garrett's leadership and dominance on defense, the Browns have a real shot if they can find the right balance at the quarterback position. So, what can we expect in the coming months? Well, training camp and the preseason will be critical. The Browns will be evaluating Flacco, Gabriel, and Sanders, trying to see who can lead this team when it counts. Garrett's role will remain vital, not just as a pass rusher, but as a leader who sets the tone for the entire defense. If Cleveland's defense continues to be a top unit, and they can get consistent play from their quarterback, the sky's the limit. But if struggles persist, Garrett might have to accept the reality that the team's future depends on giving opportunities to those young guns, including Gabriel and Sanders. And for you, the Browns fans, this is a roller coaster ride. Do you agree with the team's approach? Are you confident that Flacco can lead the team for another year, or do you think Gabriel or Sanders should see more action sooner? How do you feel about Garrett's position in all of this? Remember, he's a player who's shown time and again that he's committed to winning, and he's ready to do whatever it takes to bring that elusive Super Bowl title to Cleveland. In conclusion, this story is still unfolding, and it's one to watch closely. The Browns are making strategic moves, balancing veteran leadership with the development of their young talent, all while trying to keep their star player, Myles Garrett, happy and motivated. It's a complex puzzle, but one that could ultimately determine the team's fortunes in the upcoming seasons. Cleveland fans, stay tuned, because what happens next could be historic. Whether it's a new quarterback stepping up, Garrett continuing to dominate, or the rookies getting their shot, you can be sure that the Browns are in the middle of an exciting chapter. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all this? Are you confident that the team's strategy will pay off? Do you think Flacco can hold the fort? Or are you already dreaming of what Gabriel or Sanders can bring to the table? How do you see Garrett's future as a leader and a player in this new era? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and more importantly to the Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. This team is dynamic, unpredictable at times, but always exciting, and together, we're going to witness the next big chapter in Browns history. Thanks for sticking with me, and as always, go Browns.